It's ongoing. The process is ongoing.
Okay, hold on with that thought. We're still with the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Muhammed Sani-Sidi. We'll come back again for more on internally displaced persons. Please join us again.
This government is aware and sensitive to the fact that the current cause of internal displacement in Nigeria is the insurgency in the Northeast. I have directed relevant institutions of government to ensure that internally displaced persons are given due care and maintenance without any form of social exclusion as we work towards a durable solution.
Welcome back. We're still with the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. Thank you for joining us once again.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're still on the issue of internally displaced persons, and we left off with the issue of security. Really, there has been word that Boko Haram or any other violent sect just might have infiltrated these camps. How much of this is true?
Well, it is not for me as an agency to say these camps have been infiltrated by the violent sects. These camps are co-managed between the National Emergency Management Agency, the State Emergency Management Agency, and indeed the security agency. So I think that is left for the security agencies.
Well, have you heard anything in that regard?
Well, I haven't heard anything. And if there is issues like that, I think it will be known very well by the security agencies.
But it is possible, isn't it?
Well, nothing is impossible.
If it's possible, you know, have you taken any steps towards
I
this?
haven't heard that report. Maybe you should cross-check with the security agencies. They will be in a better position.
All right, but just in case you hear something like that, is NEMA supposed to do anything about it?
Of course, if we hear anything like that, the natural thing to do is to report immediately to draw the attention of the security agencies who will take immediate action.
And you haven't reported any suspicious case so far?
Because we haven't had any special cases like that. If we do, you can be rest assured that NEMA will report that to the security agency. In fact, that is the reason why before you establish any camp, you need to do profiling, you need to do registration. So, and then you need to have proper security around and within the premises of the camps. And that we have done. We have received good support and collaboration from the security agencies. You cannot, as a matter of fact, operate those camps without the support of the security agencies because there is issue of protection. So you need to ensure that those that are living in the camps are well protected.
But how much attention do women who give birth at these camps, how much attention do they get?
I must say that I think it's a very good question because I must say that most of the majority of the people, especially 60% of those who live in our formal camps are women and children. And we're aware that they have certain special needs for women and the children. So we have taken note of that. And even people who have special needs, you know, people who are diabetics, who need to have special diet, we have taken note of that and we've made arrangement for that in the formal camps that we are operating. I must say that we are also enjoying the support of the health official from the Federal Ministry of Health and especially also the civil defense who are also helping in managing some of these camps to ensure that those people that you are talking about don't infiltrate into the camps, and other security agencies, we are working hand in hand with them. And UN agencies, especially UNICEF, I must commend them for the support because at the moment, it's not only providing shelter, providing food and non-food items to the displaced persons that we are dealing with. We are also challenged and dealing with issues of schooling for the children. Majority of the children that are living in the camps need to continue with their education. And you are aware that the federal government have put up so many structures to deal with this situation. There is Tiwa Danjuma Committee, there is Safe School under the Minister of Finance and coordinating Minister of the Economy. She chairs the Safe School. And UNICEF are working with us to ensure that we have temporary schools for continuing education for those children that are living in the camps.
Well, currently, INEC is hoping to conduct elections at these camps. Are you offering any assistance?
Certainly, we receive a request from the INEC to give them information, data on the IDPs across the country, and we have done that. We have good collaboration with INEC, and we're working with them in that regard.
So it's still ahead of the 2050 elections. We just might see some more persons, given the trend of activities of the sect. Is there a sustainable plan to help, to make sure that we don't lack relief materials?
You see, what we have done as an agency is, as a matter of deliberate and conscious effort strategy, we put in place, we have stockpile relief material, both food and non-food items, especially even in places where we do not have operation or zonal offices. Like in Yola, we don't have either operation or zonal office, but we have to rent a warehouse to stockpile them with relief material to ensure that those camps, the 10 camps that we have, even though we have an addition, just this morning I got a report that we have an additional camps in Yola, are adequately maintained and are adequately provided with food and non-food items. And as a matter of fact, we have deployed our ambulances, we have deployed our water tankers, and we have deployed personnel from other zones to make sure that they are there 24/7 to ensure that those IDPs receive adequate attention. But I must say, if you ask me of the greatest challenges that we're having, is those people who are living outside the camps, those IDPs who are living with the host communities. It's our greatest challenge. And most of the noise you hear are people who are living outside the camps, not people who are within the camp.
So why is that?
Because they are not properly registered. So it's extremely difficult to render assistance to people who are not registered, who are living with host communities. How do you identify them?
Okay, so that's the major issue.
That's the major challenge.
Non-identification.
That is the major challenge in reaching out to those who are living outside the formal camp, who are living with the host communities. But what we are doing now, we are collaborating with the state, the Red Cross and other agencies to ensure that we go from ward to ward using the traditional platform, the district heads, the Meonguas, and other faith-based organizations to really identify who are those people who are displaced and are living with the host communities, and then reaching out to them to see how we can further give them assistance. That is NEMA aspect. And I want you to also understand the president in his own wisdom to ensure that these people continue to receive assistance and support from government. Establish Tiwa Danjuma Committee, Victim Support Funds. They are also working very hard to ensure that they complement whatever the agency is doing. And also there is PINE, Presidential Initiative Northeast, under the Office of the National Security Advisor. They are looking also at the long-term solution to the problem of the Northeast. So there are a lot of structure that has been put in place by the government of Nigeria to ensure that there is sustainability, there is in rendering assistance, and it is done in a sustainable and coherent manner.
Well, thank you very much, Muhammed Sani-Sidi, for coming on Dateline Abuja.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Nice
much.
having you.
Thank you. Next is a special report that examines the conditions of internally displaced persons in the country.
The number of internally displaced persons has continued to grow in Nigeria as conflicts and insurgency escalate in the northeast. Majority of the population has witnessed the deaths of loved ones. They currently live under very unfriendly conditions, surviving only by goodwill of fellow citizens and government agencies.
Su ma suka ce to mu zauna sun bar mu ba wani abu muna zama abu mu. So muna samu taimako daga wasu churches musamman kamar Realm of Glory. Muna gode mishi saboda shine ma ya kawo mutanen NEMA zuwa nan. A ce akwai securities ba za a samu wannan damuwa din sosai ba, amma tun da ya zama ba securities yanzu in ka je kasan Goza duk mutumin da in ka gani har yana kasan goza to in ba yana supporting Boko Haram bane ba za ka taba ga mutum ba sai dai in baka supporting in kana supporting nasu to za ka zo na amma baka supporting nasu ko kai musulmi ne kai krista ne za su kashe ka.
Gaskiya mun sha wahala tashi daga kamar mazajen mu suna hawa dutse daga dutse din kuma har yanzu ana bisu mu kuma da hannu mu haka aka tura mun Cameroon mun je mun zo na can ga yara suna mutuwa dukkan mu mun kai ɗari cikin daki daya.
Wahalan da mun sha kam sai Allah kada ya sani. Mun je Cameroon mun je Tour mun je Cameroon mun shiga Makolo da yadda muka shiga Makolo wannan sun ce Nigeria ku suna nan su ba ku da shugaban kasa ne wai sun ce ba za su wai sun ce yoyo ku kwana ba za ku kwana gare ku tashi garin ku ai ce in ba ku biya 5,000 ko wani mutum da ba wai sun ce ba za su doka ba.
To gaskiya kam kamar yanda wadiyar wannan ta fada muna da damuwa sosai gaskiya ga mazaje mu babu yanzu ko an kawo kyauta kamar wannan ma ba a tuna da mu don haka ina roƙen ku.
The federal government had in July launched a 50 billion naira fund to provide basically food, clothing and shelter for the victims.
We decided to start with focusing on the most vulnerable, women and children. So much of what was distributed here, rice, beans, blankets, sanitary wares, pampers for children.
With families disconnected, children and adults thrown out of schools and work, these people need more from their country.
We need the government to assist us so that we go back to our various places. Especially we have some children here doing nothing. Some before they day for school, primary school, nursery school, tertiary institution, secondary school, but now nothing like school again.
Ina roƙon gwamnati mu kuma da yake mun da mun sha wahala a yanzu haka arabe muke wani uba da mama suna Cameroon yara sun fita wayansu kuma sun bar matansu suna Cameroon su suna nan maza sun samu hanya sun fita.
Unless serious steps are taken to address insecurity, which had contributed greatly to the huge number of displaced persons in Nigeria, the numbers and burden of care for internally displaced persons will continue to increase.
The Director General of NEMA says over 90% of the so-called internally displaced persons in the Federal Capital Territory are actually not displaced as they claim. What do you think? Let's continue the discussion on social media using the address and Twitter handle on your screen. Now, you can let us know anything happening within your locality, especially in this the nation's capital. And don't you forget, you can view the program on youtube.com/channelsweb/videos. Make your comments after viewing the current video as well as older episodes of the program. Always remember to include your name and your location, of course, where you're writing from. Thank you so much for watching this week. I'm Gloria Umezuke. See you again.